Certainly appreciate the opportunity to come and play in Hinkle Fieldhouse as a young kid growing up watching Hoosiers. The opportunity to come in here and compete against Butler in a historic gym is a pretty cool experience. I don't know that our guys really understand the history of it. We showed them Hoosiers and tried to talk to them a little bit about Coach Hinkle and what he was and what he meant to the school. But to be able to come in here is certainly a privilege and an honor to compete on the same floor with the Butler Bulldogs with all the tradition and history that's a part of this program. And we knew coming in that it was going to be a dogfight. There's no pun intended. That they were going to give us everything that we could handle, just the way that they played. Very good defensively, and very good turning that defensive pressure into baskets. And obviously the big fella down low. Presented a lot of problems and challenges for us throughout the game, but I was proud of the way our guys came out. The start certainly gave us a pretty good boost to play the first 20 minutes with a little bit of a chip on our shoulder and a little bit of confidence, and they made a little bit of a run towards the end of the half, but we came in and talked about a few adjustments, and Butler came out and made a few more plays than we did to start the second half. But again, our guys didn't hang their heads, and we had a chance. I think it was 8 minutes. It was a 9-point game. Our guys fought back and got away from us. Obviously, they're the last few minutes of the ball game. But proud of the way our guys competed. Certainly a learning experience. When you look at a team and the guys, the makeup of our team, there were 3 freshmen that had the opportunity to play in a great atmosphere, but also against some pressure. And I thought they handled themselves well. But as we work to build, we talk about progress, and these experiences will make us better in the long run. But certainly give credit to Butler, and they didn't fold and kept coming back, and the 3-point shot coming into the game for them wasn't, they weren't shooting the ball particularly well, and certainly wanted to make sure that was the case tonight. But they did a great job of knocking down shots and either extending the lead or preventing us from putting together a run. But again, I'm thankful for the opportunity to come in here and compete against Butler on a historic court, and big fan of the way that they play, and certainly looking forward to getting our guys back on the court because I know they'll be better the next time out. Yeah, we weren't doing a very good job in the second half of stopping them and really getting the ball to the paint. They're really good getting the ball in the paint, and just a change-up. And truth be told, we hadn't worked on it a ton. We've spent a lot of time, obviously early in the year preparing with some man-to-man stuff. But at that point, let's give it a shot. The best way to learn, the best way to play, some game reps. You can do some things in practice, but now we'll have some film. We'll be able to teach, and it got us back in the game. And that's a big confidence boost for our guys that they know, hey, listen, we can go to zone when we need to go to zone. And it was one of those things as a coach, you got to try something to weather the storm and stop the run, and it worked tonight.
Coach, you talked about their defense, Butler's defense. Is it just the kind of the pressure they put on? Is it the way they get in the passing lane with deflections? Just what makes their defense so different?
I think the moment you step across half court, they do pick up and they'll work the ball handler, but the moment you step across half court, they're making all of our entries, even their ball screen coverage. And when you have a guy like that can protect the rim, that changes, because those guys can get out and pressure a little bit more, right? Because you have a big fella back there that can make up for a lot of mistakes if a team would go back door, if they get beat off the dribble. So that pressure in the half court forcing you to really execute your stuff. And I thought that was one thing that we didn't do a great job of, getting the ball where we wanted to get it to. Now, give Butler credit, but it'll be a learning experience for our guys. When a team's making a run and when they're pressuring you like that, it's where you got to pay attention to the details, and we need to get the ball to spots that we want to get it to.
Coach, some young pieces for you guys this year. Landon Moore has given you guys some really good minutes through 4 games. Can you speak to what kind of he brings to that backcourt for you guys this year?
Yeah, just a calmness. And there are moments. He's had some moments, especially tonight, where maybe he got sped up a little bit, but he's able to move to the next play because he plays with such a level head. Obviously, very skilled and gifted player, but to be able to come out and in his first 4 games, I think he scored in double figures. Certainly a credit to the type of player he is. And when you have a guy out there on the court with Max and Josh and some of our other guys that can handle the ball, but also can score when he's playing out front, that's from a coaching perspective, that's a good thing. And certainly looking forward to coaching him for the next 4 years.
Your team's generally done a really good job on the offensive glass. 10 offensive boards tonight, 5 from Cohen himself. How much does Cohen kind of fill into system for you guys, and what does he bring heading into the rest of your season?
You know, with his size and his understanding of how to play, you know, at our level, to have a kid like that is, again, it's a lot of fun for a coach because you can play through him, whether it's on the block or, you know, in the high post elbow area. He makes such good decisions with the basketball, and when he gets the ball around the rim, it goes in, and you know, that frees some things up for our perimeter guys. But you know, rebounding and tough play is something that he's always been pretty good at. You know, it's again for him to come in here and you know, play the minutes he played against the big fella and go for 18 and 7 with 5 offensive rebounds. That's pure effort. You know, because he's not the most athletic kid in the world. He's really worked on his body to become stronger since he got to St. Francis, but that's just pure effort and that's pure desire.
Coach, you talked about Butler not really having a three-point shot early in the season. Is that something you work to deny even more during the shooting, or you just hate to see that first one go down and kind of let them get going from there? How do you kind of go about defending that?
Yeah, shooting's contagious, right? We talk about that all the time, and they have good shooters. They hadn't gone down in the first 2 games, right? And well, we've done a pretty good job up to this point of defending the three-point line, so our strategy really didn't change. It was making sure that we contested as many shots as possible. And I thought in the first half, especially when they were making the run, you know, some of those transition threes that were uncontested, those are some of the easiest threes in basketball. And a few breakdowns defensively by us, paint touches, kick out threes, where we didn't rotate appropriately, gave them early looks, and that confidence starts to build. You know, they have really good shooters. Just up through the first 2 games, they hadn't shot the ball well. We want to do everything in our power to make sure that didn't happen, but give them credit. They made some big-time shots tonight.
At least with preseason projections, really tight league at the top for you guys this year. Through 4 games, what are some things you really liked out of your team?
I love this team. I texted our captains. I love coaching them. I really do. I love coming to practice. I love getting on the bus with them. I love going to meetings with them. You know, but they talk. They're engaged. There have been times where we come down to show film before practice, and they're already watching the game by themselves and talking about it as a team. So when you talk about a group that's got a mentality of, hey, listen, let's drive the bus. Let us be a part of this thing. They've really embraced that. It's a fun group to coach. They come to practice every day with an open mind. Our young guys have really assimilated well with our older guys. Certainly looking forward to, like Butler, to get, you know, the bulk of our roster back and healthy, and you know, and some guys that will help us, I think, once we get to league play. But I enjoy coming to coach these guys because they're passionate about basketball. They're passionate about being good people. They're doing what we ask of them, you know, and that 2 feet in mentality. And to have it this early in the year, I don't know that I've had a team that's been this together and this willing to buy in early. One of our alums sent me a text message after we played Hartford, and he said, you know, when you have a team that, you know, buys in, plays hard, is tough, plays together, improvements come a lot quicker. And I really feel that about. So we go in and we try to improve on some things from tonight. I really feel like, you know, we'll get that because those guys have really bought into what we ask. And believe is a big part of our program. It's a word that we use quite a bit. And when you feel that in a locker room, it's pretty special. We're not quite there yet. We're close, but I feel like we're you know, on the right path.
Any more questions?
Good. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Good luck the rest of the way. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Dave.
All right, we'll go straight to questions. So, who's first?
Jaden, just how important was it to get that first basket today? You scored the first one, I believe you had 7 more, made the three-pointer. Is it just confidence? Is it extra work in the gym? Just what kind of led to the strong first half that you had today?
I would just say it's confidence. I came in probably like just overthinking a little bit on my shot, just starting at 0 for 10, but I can shoot the ball, so just being confident in my shot.
And again, when you get that first one, is it a sign of offense? Just what changes after you see that first three go down?
Nothing really. I don't know. I was pretty confident from the out the gate. So, yeah, that's it.
Chuck, you guys have talked throughout the last few games about how you know the shots are going to fall eventually tonight, 8 for 15 from 3. How is that kind of feel to kind of get kind of off of that, kind of see them start to come down in a real game, and then have kind of everyone contribute from beyond the arc?
Coaches just been preaching to us, just keep shooting, just keep shooting. We practice every day. We've been practicing all summer on our jump shots, so they fell tonight at a high rate. So and we felt comfortable with it. We felt like that was what we supposed to do. So.
St. Francis coach talked about you guys' defense and the way that you guys convert turnovers into points the other way. I believe you guys had 56 points in the paint. Just when we're able to get deflections and get off in fast break, just how much does that help the offense?
Well, it's kind of going to be who we are, and you know it's funny because we had a defensive game plan for a week, and then we had 2 days to try to get back to where we were, and we weren't as effective defensively as we wanted to be tonight. But we had some segments where we had all 5 guys connected, and I really liked what I saw. I thought, you know, we did do a good job getting up and pressuring, but you know we gave up some layups because we weren't in the right position early on, and you know those are things we got to get corrected. We got to be able to do 2 things at one time defensively, and but there were signs of it tonight where there was some pretty doggone good possessions defensively of having 5 guys connected out there, and you know those are things we got another day to get prepared for Citadel in regards to that, get back to kind of being who we are.
And how much does it help to have Manny Bates back there? If you do make a mistake, he can kind of erase that.
Yeah, you know that's the rim protection is key for us. It really is, but I don't want to put Manny in that position all the time where he's got to be challenging shots and trying to block shots, because you saw tonight, you know, they got a couple offensive rebounds when he pulled to block a shot, and he blocked some, but we got to be better out front on the ball. That's going to make us a better team.
Coach, you said early on in the season that you were disappointed in the guards. Rebounding play since then, but tonight, Chuck, Jaden, and Pierce all had 5+ rebounds. So how important is that? A night like tonight when they didn't play.
Yeah, well, you know that's kind of our season, to be honest with you, and you know especially with the fact right now we're down 6'10", 6'10", 6'9", 6'8" on the injured reserve list. So these guys have got to do the job of rebounding the basketball, and we don't want to put that pressure on, you know, Manny to get every single rebound or DJ to get every single rebound. And back to your, you know, with the turnovers and deflections, if we can come up with clean rebounds, we really struggled tonight just coming up with clean rebounds, and I don't understand why, but when we get that, we're pretty good coming the other way.
Chuck, 7 assists tonight. Off the top of my head, might be a college career high for you. Obviously, you had a few turnovers too. Thanks. But maybe the tempo or feeling coming in tonight, what has kind of allowed you to kind of free up and kind of pick those spots more to be a more efficient scorer and also dishing some too?
Well, Coach preached before the game, just trust your teammates. Sometimes I have a tendency to, you know, maybe overdo some things, and tonight I just wanted to make the simple plays that, you know, made a better, you know, team plays tonight. So it resulted in 7 assists. But I'm always looking to find my teammates, honestly.
And I will say he should have had 8 assists. The one in transition at the end of the game, I'm not sure what that was. We'll take a look at that on film.
No comment.
Coach,
You
St.
knew it as
Francis
soon as you
able
threw
to cut
it.
it to single digits just a little bit before the under 8-minute timeout when you called timeout. What was the message in that timeout to kind of get into attacking that zone out of the break? And what did you tell the team then?
Well, you know, it was kind of what I said after the game. You know, these last couple games, we've had some really good segments of basketball, but we've also had some segments where we haven't been as sharp as we needed to be, and we've got to get to where we're solid all the way through. You know, consistency over greatness. I want consistent 40 minutes as opposed to, you know, 6 great minutes and 2 bad minutes, and that's something that we were talking about there, just in terms of those guys coming back, and we threw some crazy passes and weren't as sharp as we needed to be, and that's what we got to get. You know, as we continue to move forward, we got to be more consistent with how we're playing. And I thought we did that better offensively tonight. I thought we were sharper. Well, we didn't waste possessions like we did the other night at Penn State. And, you know, it was probably good for us that happened the other night, because we were better for it tonight. We just got to get our defense back in check.
So you mentioned missing 4 guys with injury, but I think in Penn State, I think Pierce was the only guy off the bench, played more than 7 minutes. Tonight you got more bench contributions. Pierce obviously.
And I will say our bench did a phenomenal job there in the first half. Yeah, they were they really did a good job of igniting us, and you know, got the double-digit lead there at halftime, and you know, Pierce had a couple plays that were just fantastic plays, and that's what he has to do for us. He's got to be an energy type guy, and I just, you know, I forgot, I thought about it the other night. I mean, he's a true freshman, and you know, the other night was his first road game, and you know, I think from that standpoint, he's just going to continue to settle into his role and give us what we need.
For Eric Hunter, in Penn State, he didn't have that coach doing that, but his team was really aggressive in the second half. You kind of talked to him in the game to have him go out and get more shots.
Yeah, you know, he had the one in the first half, I think it was off the inbounds play, where he tried to roll it to DJ, and he was right in front of the rim, and I said, my man, you're going to have to start shooting the basketball. And but I was happy to see Eric get going in the second half, and you know, with these 3 guards, I mean, those guys, we need them to have nights like they had tonight.
Coach, we've seen a lot of Manny Bates early dunking block shots, but I think 2 things that I didn't really notice coming into the year. He's done a really good job sealing on drives for guards, and then the mid-range jumper's really been there. Can you speak to kind of those 2 aspects and how he helps your offense?
Yeah, I mean, Manny's he's definitely a force in there, and you know, it's funny because he works that jump shot all the time, and every time he shoots it, it's like, I think it's got a pretty good chance of going in, just because I've seen the work that he's put in to develop that, and you know, it was probably good for us. It's not good for Manny, but we had to go without him tonight there in the first half, and you know, there's probably going to be situations like that it happens, and so that was probably a good thing for us that we had to kind of bear that tonight.
Any updates on timelines or anything before they're out?
No, I'll be honest. I saw the docs in there looking at a couple guys, so we'll see when I get back there. So hopefully sooner than later.
Thank you, guys.